Good morning, everyone, from Adventureland in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm really looking forward to being here. I've been to this park once before. That was in 2021, so 4 years later. And they haven't added too many new things. They do have a new family coaster, Log Flume. That'll be fun to experience. But mainly, it's just getting back to this park because I really enjoyed it the one other time I came. This is the state's largest theme park by quite a bit. Actually, a lot of Disneyland inspiration, as you'll see, especially in the front gate area. Already here, you can see the train station right there, and the train actually just goes right on by the entrance. This park opened in 1974 for the longest time, including when I last visited. It was an independent park, then it joined with Palace Entertainment, or as it's known overseas, Parque Reunidos, and then they merged with Herschend pretty recently, and so now it's a Herschend park. So this park's basically gone under so many ownership changes, which is pretty crazy. I wonder how it's going to affect this place. I hope they get more investment because they made news headlines because they started adding a bunch of stuff last decade. So I believe it started all with Monster. That's the Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, by far the best coaster in the park. And then they went on and added a cool spinning coaster, an S&S 4D coaster, lots of fun stuff. This park was on a roll, and I'm really looking forward to getting on all those attractions as well.
Yes, it's my first time here. I'm very excited to see what it's like, see if it feels more like an independent park or more like a palace park, or, you know, what's the vibe here?
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm here. I didn't really ever think that I would make it out here, but it looks pretty similar to Disneyland, so I guess that's a good sign.
For me, it's better than Disneyland. Stop. I love how colorful this front gate area is, and yeah, it definitely does look like Disneyland, especially this main street over here. Music is great. I absolutely love how lively this is. 7 roller coasters to get onto this park, and it doesn't seem like too busy a day, so we should be good. Special shout out to the park for hooking up the complimentary admission for our visit today. Of course, we had to head straight to Monster because it is an absolutely incredible ride. I love this thing. This opened in 2016, has a silky smooth layout, lots of funky inversions, including a finish loop, and it's really what put the park on the map for roller coaster enthusiasts like myself. We would not be here if it weren't for Monster, but actually the park's done a really good job adding things over time. They have a nice like assortment of family coasters now too, and we're just walking around like it looks beautiful, this place. Look, there's a chapel too. That's pretty interesting. Woo! Here we go, Monster. I really hope this is as good as I remember because I loved this ride in 2021. Oh my gosh. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Ah! Whoa! Woo! Oh! Oh! Woo! Oh! Whoa! Woo! All right. Whoa! Whoa! Nice. Whoa! Oh, Monster is so much fun. I think that is actually one of the most pure fun coasters out there. Loaded with hang time, glossy smooth, great elements. Like every single one is a banger on that. The drop too, so much airtime going over it. Even though it's not an airtime ride, you do get some airtime moments, which I really appreciate, just to kind of diversify things, because a lot of Gerstlauer coasters, they do the same thing the whole time. It flows amazing in my opinion. It's so much better than the other Gerstlauer Infinity coaster we have in America being hang time, at least in my opinion. I think it's miles better than hang time.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know if that would be like my kind of ride. I don't know, hang time isn't my favorite, inversions, like whatever. The way that this ride does it is just so fun. It's such a fun layout. I had a blast on that.
Yeah, no, I really liked Monster. I wasn't super hyped for this ride or anything because I'm like into intensity and this ride isn't necessarily known for that. Experienced some great airtime moments and some fun hang time, so I'm a fan of it for sure.
We're getting on a real weird one next. It actually garnishes one of the longest wait times in the park here, and that's underground, which you can't really see any of. Very bizarre. Opened in 1996 from Custom Coasters International. It is a wooden coaster actually. This one doesn't really have any drops, but apparently there's some nice theming on this. I did get to do this in 2021, but it wasn't really a themed experience. Since then, they've actually upgraded the coaster. Hopefully it's better now than it used to be, because I was just kind of whatever about it back in the day. But yeah, this will be a fascinating experience. I'm really intrigued by it.
Welcome to the underground here at Adventureland. Fact is, Adventureland was built right over the top of one of the most notorious caverns to ever be dug out under Iowa soil. Now, one time, this here underground was the hideout for some of the most wanted outlaws and bank robbers ever to roam the territory. And that was the end of the underground, and the end of bad.
Whoa! That's so cool! Oh my
Ain't afraid of the dark now, are ya?
Oh my gosh, he's like cursed now. This is dark, oh my gosh. Whoa! Oh, Liftel! Why is it Space Mountain? Whoa! Another Liftel. I've read this had 900 feet of length on RCDB. Whoa! What is going on? Space Mountain Part 2? Whoa! Oh, that was fantastic, actually. If you guys saw what that used to look like in 2021 when I last rode it, you would be blown away just like I am right now. That was shocking. There was so much theming. I thought they did actually a very good job. Some of those animatronics were great. Only downside is I wish you went through the layout a little bit slower so you could better appreciate those sets, because they were genuinely fantastic, I thought. And I would say probably a top 3 most unique wooden coaster I've ever done.
That was good. It was weird. I didn't expect that much theming in this park, but that ride was actually really well themed.
Yeah, that was really well done. I had no idea what that was going into it, but I was impressed.
We've got 2 really cool attractions to get on next. First up is going to be Flying Viking, which is a Zamperla family coaster. We just did this as Tony's Express at Luna Park in Coney Island, New York, and we kept joking about it all day. We can't wait to ride Tony. And then also, there is a log flume, also from Zamperla, intertwined in this layout. That also exists at Coney Island, however, either because it was cold or because it hadn't opened yet for the season, we did not get to do it. So here I'm really excited to get on what looks to be a great water ride. This opened in 2023, so it wasn't here last I came to the park, and it looks like a great ride. Look at this map, and then you go to Russia, and you have Novgorod. Flukebon Novgorod reference, let's go. All right, here we go. Going under the coaster right now, which looks really cool. We got 2 Liftel's on this. We're about to go down drop number 1. Whoa, double down. Whoa. That was a lot of water, but not too much water. Good views of the spinning coaster. Looking forward to getting on Phoenix later. All right, we got our final drop. Please don't screw us too bad.
Oh my god, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
All right, here we go on the Flying Viking. Looking forward to seeing how this rides. Here. Whoa. Oh. Nice. Whoa. Whoa. Just like how that's a package deal if you're a park, you're buying those. I'm gonna review them both at the same time. Coaster was fun, really enjoyed it. Not quite as good as Tony in Coney Island because the name is so good. And the flume was good fun too. I actually really like that log flume, especially how it has the double down at the start and then a much bigger straight drop at the end. That was cool.
Yeah, I really liked both of them. The boat ride, it's more of a boat ride than a log flume. You're in like a little boat. Didn't get me too soaked, but like a good amount. The coaster, not as good as Tony, especially because Tony goes around twice. That only goes around once, which makes sense. It's such a good package deal. That's a really good product, and I could see a lot of parks buying that in the future.
We're getting on Tornado up next, which is a Philadelphia Toboggan Company wooden coaster from 1978. There's really nothing more Iowa than this turn out of the station right alongside a grass field. It looks a lot like a cornfield. I think it may have one point been a cornfield actually, but still very, very flat state. Not much going on here. Looking forward to this. Hopefully it's not too rough. Looks like they did some retracking on some of it. All right, here we go. Whoa! 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 We're up here. No, that runs great actually. That's very smooth. Maritime. Whoa! Whoa! Good laterals too. This is actually not bad. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! low-key impressed by that. That was fun. Tornado, back when I did it in 2021, it was rough. Didn't really do anything force-wise. Granted, I don't know if I actually rode that in the front last time, but this time we did. And I was very impressed by some of the airtime on it. Not a ton of moments, but the ones that were there were great. And it was also running very smooth. That was also a contrast to my last ride. So yeah, overall, I was impressed.
I thought that would just be lame, so I'm kind of impressed.
It's like more impressive than it looks. It's nothing super special.
Up next, one of the main events of Adventureland, I would argue, is Dragon Slayer, which is a miniature 4D free spin from SNS, but this one is unbelievable. It rotates like 50,000 times on this Raven turn right here. Ready? Watch this. Whoa, that looks so crazy. I can't wait for it. It replaced an old Hopkins looping coaster called Dragon, obviously a very appropriate name, that operated from 1990 to 2019. And actually, the last time I came to the park, they kept up the 2 vertical loops of Dragon for you to see as you're walking around the park. I'm actually kind of sad that they didn't keep those around. I thought that was a really cool way to kind of pay homage to the old ride. And yeah, the name is just awesome. Dragon Slayer, like, come on, that's so cool. What makes Dragon Slayer very unique is obviously not only is it a small free spin, which you might think would be a disadvantage, wouldn't be as good, but actually what's interesting about this is you can choose your side you want to ride on, either the night side or the Squire side. The night side is the wilder ride, and the Squire side they say is the milder ride. Although it is sort of random, we're gonna go for the night side and hope for a great amount of flipping on it. But I've also heard people, you know, they do the Squire side, they're like, wow, we flipped way more than the other side. So it is hit or miss, but overall I think this one generally gets more flips. All right, boys, wish us luck, because this is gonna be pretty gnarly regardless of the cycle. Oh, we're already going. Whoa, whoa, air time. Oh, 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 oh my god, oh my god, oh, oh god, whoa. Out of the station, you want to be facing backwards because that was unbelievable. Skylar actually didn't flip a whole lot.
Yeah, I was on my own, which I thought would make it more unbalanced and like flip more, but I don't know.
For us, on the other hand, oh my god.
Oh my god. We were flipping so fast, my face was being pushed back like you're on a Starship rides at the carnival. Like, oh my god, I've never moved that fast in my life. That was insane.
That was one of the most intense coaster elements I've ever experienced, that inside Raven turn. I felt like I was gonna die on that. That was insane. I think we must have flipped at least 5 or 6 times on that one element alone. I also really like the top of the free spin because you go over that hill, you actually get some air time, and then there's a fin that causes you to do a front flip over that. That was pretty cool, but no, definitely the middle was the craziest bit. That was, oh god, that was unbelievable.
Honestly, in general, I feel like free spins, even when they don't spin that much, are such like an overhated thing just because Six Flags added so many of them. But it's genuinely such a cool concept. If it weren't for those, there would be no like modern 4D coasters. It's so cool, and the fact that small parks like this could add one, that's incredible. Oh my god, what a great ride. That was great.
Still can't get over that. That was incredible. Actually, a lot of the rides in this park have exceeded expectations. We're having a really good time here. And look at the water. This is beautiful. Entering the back of the park, Outlaw Gulch. There's a couple major rides back here, mainly Outlaw, which is another wooden coaster that we'll definitely get on, as well as a super unique water ride. We were just talking about how if you removed Outlaw Gulch, suddenly Adventureland's actually a really tiny park and footprint. But because of this, it's quite a bit bigger. And I really think they should pay more attention to the back section of the park up next. I even think bringing in Rocky Mountain Construction in to renovate Outlaw would be a good idea. Not that I dislike Outlaw, I think it's a fine wooden coaster. We'll see how it's running this time too. It could even be better than I remember. Even so, I feel like this park needs the investment. They already have other wooden coasters, and that could be really good to bring more people to the back section of the park. But yeah, we're looking forward to Outlaw. This is actually a pretty cool ride, opened in 1993 from Custom Coasters International. What's interesting about it is that the designer Mike Boodley, this was basically his GCI prototype, if you will, because he went on to co-found Great Coasters International, and you'll notice that this first drop and the first hill up are very reminiscent to a GCI coaster. As a matter of fact, we just did Prowler at Worlds of Fun yesterday, almost an identical start, and you'll also notice the start is very similar on Mystic Timbers at Kings Island as well. All right, got a little bit of a free drop, which is interesting. Here we go. Whoa! Whoa! Outlaw was fun though. I really like it. You could definitely see the similarities with GCI coasters on that. It was maintained very well, super smooth. Good airtime on a couple spots. Nothing crazy though. I can't decide which wooden coaster I like more, but honestly, both were pretty fun.
Yeah, it was like a GCI, CCI baby. It was pretty okay. It's not the best. I could honestly see one of the wooden coasters in this park getting RMC'd though, and I would be very happy with that. Honestly, either one, but I see this one more. Like Tornado's kind of more like a classic, you know, keep it around for the nostalgia type ride. This, I don't know, just screaming RMC to me.
It was fine. I mean, there was like 1 or 2 good airtime moments, but other than that, I thought it was just kind of janky and didn't really do much, so I wouldn't be opposed to this getting RMC'd for sure.
Look what they got here. Sawmill Splash is one of those like elevated rapids rides. It's so fascinating. I know they have one at Six Flags America in Maryland, which of course is closing down soon, so that's a shame. These are really few and far between these days. This isn't a particularly big one or anything, but it does have a cool double down at the end. Whoa! Oh, we're spinning a lot. Whoa! Whoa! This is insane! Whoa! Oh! Oh! That was great. Fun time on that. We got a great ride with the amount of spinning we got, and then the double down at the end was fun. Good splashdown too. You don't really get that wet from it. It's just a refreshing amount. And then also too, just having such a unique ride, definitely a must do in the park for that alone.
Yeah, I remember doing the one at Six Flags America. I like that. I like this one a lot. We spun a lot. I'm so sad that those are like non-existent anymore. Like there used to be one at like Six Flags New England, and they replaced it with a free spin.
I really like the western facades out here in this section of the park too. The park actually looks great. We do have one more coaster to get on in the park, and that is Phoenix, a Mauer spinning coaster with a very, very not so original layout. We've done it at a bunch of parks around the world, Hershey Park and Waldameer, just to name a few in the country alone. I really like it. It's fun, it's smooth, and it doesn't look like it has much of a line, so let's get a ride. What's interesting about this one is that you start spinning on the first drop, unlike the others where you're locked. Here we go. Whoa! Woo! Oh, so smooth and so fun. Oh, usually this is where you would unlock and start spinning. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, nice. Woohoo! Whoa! Whoa! Nice. Whoa.
It's so smooth and fun.
Good fun ride on Phoenix. I think Skylar went back to the car to sleep, but you like it?
Yes, that's so much. It's like the same kind of footprint as a Wild Mouse, but is so much more fun.
It
so
destroys
much more
any Wild
enjoyable,
Mouse.
So smooth and just like a comfortable, flowy ride experience. I think so many more parks should have this instead of a Wild Mouse. It's great. Oh my god, there's a bug on me.
And I've seen so many people get this like souvenir bucket of mini cookies, and we're gonna just do a cup for $7, but these things are so good. These things are adorable. I bet they're gonna taste incredible. Yeah. I got cookies exactly like this. One stayed over in Nebraska at Vala's Pumpkin Patch. These cookies taste almost identical. They are so good. Honestly, these are some of the best, if not the best cookies I've had in any theme park.
Ooh, they are warm. It's like crispy around the edges, soft in the middle.
Beautiful.
Chocolate's incredible.
What better way to conclude our time at Adventureland than with these glorious... As I was saying, what better way to conclude our day at Adventureland than with these glorious chocolate chip cookies? I love this park. I think it's fantastic, actually. This is like a very classic Americana park, but it has that modern touch to it, and it just looks really, really nice. Like, a lot of it is generic, yes, but they just dress it up. They make it look real good, and I appreciate that a lot. The ride lineup is pretty solid, Monster being an incredible anchor attraction, some solid wooden coasters in this park. I definitely think RMCing one of those should be next on the horizon for them, or give them a launch coaster too. They don't actually have a launch, so I think they could use one of those. Other than that, fantastic time.
Yes, I enjoyed this park a lot. To answer my question from the beginning, it kind of does feel like more independent, but it definitely, I am seeing like the palace touches. Wonder what the Hershey touches will be, especially like kind of more generic kind of parks like this. Like I wonder how they'll beautify it. Not that this park isn't beautiful. I mean, look where we are. This part's beautiful. They don't have to touch this. But for the time being, this park is not bad at all. They actually had a solid lineup. I enjoyed my time here.
Hopefully they added more buildings that look like this. This is beautiful. More areas like that, please. Alrighty then, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.